good evening, everybody, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. And hello, my name's Matt, and we're here with Matt and Kirsty's show. We're 8 p.m. here in the UK, and hello, wherever you are. So the way that our show works tonight is that basically you post a question of a spiritual nature, and from there, then basically we'll answer that to the best of our ability, and that person gets a reading. So that's how the show works, as simple as that. But it's also a show about learning together. It's about a show of coming together as a community and supporting one another. So whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube, it doesn't matter. We're all one big community along the way. A few things to be aware of is when we say spiritual, that's to talk about mediumship, spirituality, sort of spiritual healing, Reiki, all of that type of thing, as opposed to, can you see this behind me? Can you see an orb in the picture? Anything like that. We don't do that type of thing. As I say, it's from learning. We also ask if you are posting, please don't post anything personal, because you're in a public domain. It can be maintained there. And there should be nobody asking you for private readings over the actual platform. So if there is, then please report that as soon as possible to the producer. So I'm looking forward to the next few weeks, and finally to say Happy New Year to you all. And it's great to be back in a brand new year and to 2023. Now, normally I join my wife here, Kirsty, but unfortunately she's needing healing again. So if you could send some healing to her, that would be wonderful. Okay, so we're going to say some hellos, and firstly, we have the wonderful Wendy Lindsay, one of our co-presenters. So hello, Wendy, to you, and Happy New Year to you also, and thank you for the healing for Kirsty. Hello, Kimberly Dalby from Portsmouth, just down the road. Hello from Kayla Jenkins in lovely New Zealand. Must be about 8 o'clock-ish, is it? Around about that time there. Hello, Paul and Liz Slater from Dagenham in Essex. Nice to see you. Hello, Avril Hayes. Good evening. Hello, Patricia T. Hi to you. Hello, Kaylee Byrne. Hello, Flower. Hello, Deborah Long. The Christmas tree up. Hi, Stacey Shaw. Nice to see you. Hello, Rosie Rios. Hello, Angela Smith. Hello, Sandy Nolte from Indiana in the US. Hello, Natalie Bennett. Nice to see you. Hello, Maxine Entwistle from New York. Don't know if that's state or the city, but either way, hello. Hello, Marie Claire Bailey from Essex also. Hello, Karen Wubble-You. Hello, Sarah Tink Weston from Portland in Dorset. Okay, very lovely county. Hello, Michelle Joyce. Thank you for healing for Kirsty. Hello, Christina Cull. Hello, Kerry Farmer. Hello, Christine Davies. So for those who just joined us, Happy New Year to you all, and thank you for the hellos. For those who are new to the channel, please tune in every day at this time to sort of see different types of shows. But for this show, if you want to read it, it's basically that you pose a question. It could be to do mediumship, healing, Reiki, spirituality, or crystals, anything that sort of you're wanting to know about. We'll answer that to the best of our knowledge, and then from there, the person gets a reading once we've entered that. Hello, Emma from Middelburg in South Africa. Hello, Lara Bloomberg from Orpington in Kent. Hello, Tina Collins. Good evening to you. Hello, Julie Kane Campbell. Hello, Kathleen Bridget Rush from the Red Rose of Lancashire. Chrissy Parker, nice to see you, and a lovely picture of the Queen there with the corgis. Hello, Dealey R from the sunny Florida, US. Happy New Year to you. Hello, Tanya Bond. Hello, Kerry Setchell. Healing vibes to you also. And hello, Lisa Hunt from not too far away in Canterbury, Kent, just down the way from ourselves. And hi, Terry Louise. Nice to see you. Happy New Year to yourself, Terry. Okay, so guys, we're going to crack on. So, Mr. Producer, have we got any questions yet, please? Okay, guys, so if you want to put a question up, for those who are new to the channel, just remember, we don't just give you a reading based, is this person here, is that person there, can you see this behind me? It's basically, it has to be of a spiritual nature, and then from there, then basically that person gets a reading. So Kimberly Darby says, dreams, my question, my loved ones come often once needed. I believe it's true. Is this correct? So from what I interpret from what you're saying, Kimberly, is that basically do your dreams, do your loved ones come in while you're asleep and in your dreams when you're most needed? Basically, they come in your dream states because that's when you're at your most relaxed. So, and allows yourself to be more open to it. So I would assume that your mind is quite busy during the day, and that as a result, you're not aware. But spirit are around, not just in our dreams, around us all the time. They want you to check, you know, although we refer to them as spirit, you know, they're down to our mums, our dads, and everything else. So they're around us a lot. So in answer to your question, they do come in our dreams when we need them for us to interpret and to see them, because we're relaxed. Our spiritual self raises up when we're asleep, and obviously we connect better with our spirit world, but they're around us all the time. So hopefully that explains that. So for you, Kimberly, I'm drawn very quickly to a card for you. And this is from the Sword of Light Oracle pack, which is from Radley Valentine. And the card for you is this one, which is trust your angels. Let go of your expectations of how your dreams will come true. Trust that heaven has a perfect plan. Very apt for what we've just said. So in here, I just feel like it's everything's coming at you in so many different directions. I feel that there are a lot of spiritual awakenings, a lot of things that are happening that you can't quite explain, and just seems to, in the last sort of year, since last Christmas, sort of imploded, and just you're receiving lots of information. Now, obviously, this refers to the angels, hence the angelic cards. I don't feel it's just, I feel this is from spirit, and I feel it's from loved ones. I also have a grandmother who steps in for yourself, and I want to go on father's side of the family with her, and she's around you a lot at the moment, and it's to give you clarity, it's giving you focus, because at the moment it's just like, it feels like my head is all over the place. I just need that focus and determination of where I'm going. I also need that belief in me. She also very much makes me aware of it's almost like I'm struggling with my words. So I do feel with her there would have been difficulty with communication towards the end. I'm having very strong pains in the chest area, but I'm also getting the stomach area. So with me, the stomach area denotes a stomach condition, but also denotes cancer. But I'm having pains in the chest area as well as the stomach area. So those are the two areas that I'm working on. I also feel with her sort of early 80s, and I feel a strong individual, would have been a fighter, would have kept going. But I feel with her sort of the last 2 weeks of her life, she just gave up. And I feel with her that she is around you so much. She's bringing in nature for you, being out in the garden. I know it's the wrong time of year, but being out in the garden and just having a love of being outdoors. I want dogs around you, and I want to sort of like walking dogs, but I want excuses to be out, and I'm needing just to clear my head with yourself, Kimberly. And the final thing, the message from your loved ones is be true to you. It doesn't matter what other people think about you, your beliefs, anything else. Remain true to you and stay firm to your beliefs and what you believe to be right. And if I can leave that with you, thank you for working with Kimberly, and Happy New Year to yourself. Okay, so for those just joining, that's as simple as it is for getting a reading. Just post a question, and then if you're chosen, then we'll answer that and then basically get a reading. That's the only way to get a reading tonight. So if you're wondering why you're not getting chosen, that's the reason why. So any more lows, please? Oh, just a reminder, please don't put anything personal up also, because it's on a public domain. Hello from Jan from Nova Scotia in Canada, lovely place. Hello, Kerry Evans Carter. Hello, Kelly McKeaton, good to see you, Happy New Year. Hello, Benny Ty, Happy New Year to you. Hello, Ashley M. Hello, Connie Gonzalez from California, West Coast. Hello, Jackie Lidster, good evening to you. Another Pompey person from Portsmouth, Mary Butcher, hello to you. Thank you, Tony Wright, nice to see you also. Okay, so Marie-Claire Bailey, how do you know you're listening to intuition rather than to yourself? Now, with me, your intuition, your gut feeling is you just know, all right? With yourself, you question. So with your intuition, your gut feeling, it's your connection, and you just know, you just want to do it. You haven't got a thought about it. There's no second thought. There's no sort of like thinking about weighing things up. When it's yourself, it's almost like I need to say to you, you're like, yeah, but what's the consequences of that? What happens if I did this? Would that have a knock on you? Almost like thinking it through within your intuition. You don't give it a second thought. You just know it to be right. And it's that automatic trust. When we do with ourselves, for example, if it's sort of like there's something doesn't feel right about somebody, so intuition wise, we trust that, we're just on our guard a little bit. If it's ourselves, we might be sort of like, oh, well, perhaps it's just me, perhaps, I need to give them the benefit of the doubt, perhaps, I've misjudged them, I'm sort of overcompensating. So hopefully that explains that to you, Marie. So where are we going? Okay, I want to go to the fairy pack for yourself. So these are lovely. These are Karen K cards. So I'm going to go to these for you. Oh. And the card that jumps out for me is this one, New Beginnings. And it says, the fairy godmother heralds the joyous news of a new baby or the birth of a cherished idea. Protect and nurture your ideas as you would a baby. Now, I feel this is more sort of new beginnings, as new challenges and a new mindset with you. And it's almost like I need to say to you, it's almost like as one challenge comes, it's like, done it, bring on the next one, and it's like a new energy that's come with you. And I don't want the old cliche, you know, it's a brand new year, it's a new year and all of that. This has been sort of, I feel, going on since just before Christmas, so sort of like the end of November time, but it's just like a new energy that's coming in, a new belief system that anything is possible. I also want that sort of new beginnings and challenges around the workplace. Okay, so I want that. In the card, it's very much, you know, giving offerings, and I want that offering to sort of say to you, if you put it out, the thought out to the universe, or whatever your belief system is, then basically that will come back. But it's about putting those thoughts. You're a manifester, so keep those thoughts positive. And I also need to say to you that very much there is a lot of healing around you, but I also want, as well as personal healing and sort of understand that, I also want you giving healing. So I don't know if you are a healer or not, but I want that healing. But my hands are absolutely cold. Now, normally with a healer, they're quite warm hands, but I just need to say to you, we get what the person needs. So if we're receiving that cold, it's just that there is a need to relax at the minute, as I interpret that. And I want a return back to nature with yourself, Marie. I want that sort of like around the trees. I want that sort of around the trees. I want that sort of holding on to what seems special to you. The message for yourself is believe in you, and believe that when you put your mind to it, anything is possible. I can leave that with you, Marie. Thank you very much. If you can, if you're just tuning back in now, you've missed it. If you can play it on the record, or give us some feedback if you were listening, please. Okay, any more hellos, please, Mr. Producer? Hello, Steph. Hello, S. Jane Hoskins. Hello, Charisse Wheeler. Hopefully I've said that correctly. Hello, Lynn Rutledge Hall. Hello, Natalie Bentley. Hello, Sharon Saxon. Hello, Carrie Setchell. Okay, so Kerry Setchell, that's our next question. Do any of your relatives visit you, or can you not read for yourself? You're, as I mentioned with the previous person, your loved ones around you all the time, Kerry. And in the last reading, we was on about intuition or hearing your own voice. Now, the problem we've got is it's not that you can't read for yourself, but we doubt. So if for example, if I'm doing a reading for somebody else, the person might say no, but I know that I have to give off the information because I don't know anything about that person. And even if it's somebody that I know, I will always ask to give me something that I don't know about that person. Now, because that is completely trusting and completely fluid, that sort of energy just keeps flowing and flowing. Now, there are no barriers and nothing gets in the way. But then what happens when it comes to ourselves? We're like, oh, is that the card that I wanted? Or could that be that? And what happens then? We get in the way. So it acts as a blockage. So we doubt not what we receive. It might be not what we want. It might be that because we've got in the way of interfering and doubting what it is, we don't accept it also. So in answer to your question, our loved ones are around us all of the time. And, you know, they will give us signs in other ways to prove it. So, for example, I might be in the kitchen, I might be cooking, and, you know, a recipe from my grandma might come into my head, or a song that my dad and me used to dance to, for example, or a radio in the car comes on, or a feather suddenly appears in a random place where feathers wouldn't be, and we then start to think, oh, I wonder who that's from. And then the first image or name that comes into our head, that's it is. So it's like when we see Robin, you know, our loved ones haven't suddenly turned into a Robin. It's just them being a messenger. And who's the first person we think of when we see that Robin? Then that's who the Robin is associated with. And that is the way that we receive the information, because there's no question, because we then just trust. So hopefully that's answered your question in a roundabout way, Kerry. Want to go there. And unlike with the others, I want to go straight to a loved one, and I want to go grandfather with you, and I want to go on mum's side of the family with this gentleman, and I want a really sort of happy soul, really go lucky. And I also want to say sort of like very much would have been a person who you would have felt very, very comfortable with, and very much a person who was would have made you feel at ease. He wouldn't have made you feel uncomfortable. You would have been very accepting of him. I don't feel a person who would have done loads of jobs and sort of like a handy person, but I just feel person you could just feel comfortable in their company. He gives lots of healing for you, and I have healing around the neck and around the shoulder area. I'm also having bits of headache, sort of like around yourself. But with him, again, I feel sort of very sort of tired, very worn out. And I feel with him that I was ready to go also. Again, he takes me to the stomach area. As I said before, stomach condition or cancer on there. And I just feel with him, probably in my late 70s, so around about 77, 78 for his passing. But I feel with him probably sort of like my early teens, sort of like 13, 14 for the passing. And he also brings chamomile and honey just to sort of allow me to relax, but to around the throat area as well. And I just need to sort of say he's bringing lots of energy, healing energy, but also for you to just slow down a bit. It just feels like you've been on a bit of a roller coaster these like sort of last 6 months, and he's just wanting you to trust what you're actually you're getting, what you're receiving, and just to say to you that you need to believe what you receive, both intuitively but also in the energies around you. And it's almost like the energies of the people around you, the energies of the energies of the environment are very much very influential around you. It's almost like they either raise you up or they bring you down. So it's being in the right environment. She put his past 86. I'm sure I said 78. So then I need to go the significance of 8 years before. So for example, if he passed into in 2008, I want to go back to 2000 because I'm taken to that 78. And if I'm wrong with the age, which clearly I am, I want to go to the significance of 78, either with you or him. So go back to that year that he was 78, please. And the final thing, he brings in a red nose for you. And this is, you know, like I'm squeezing the red nose and sort of like make a honking noise. And I just want to almost just like want to bring the laughter back. Laughter hasn't been there for about 2 years. And I want to bring that laughter back for yourself. And he's bringing that in the droves. And he just comes and gives you a big cuddle. And if I can leave his love with you, Kerry, and thank you for working with me. Okay. Hello, Lisa Edwards. Aquarius Lighthouse. I hopefully I've said that correct. That was a bit of a mouthful to say it first. Hello, Marcus Coulson. Hello, Pauline Byrne. Hello, Laura Grant from Canada. Hello, Patrick Monaghan. Hello, Kathleen Shuttleworth. Hello, Tabitha Hayes. Happy Monday to you also. Hello, Jade Fleming. Okay, Katie Rickson, you're the next person I'm going to. When things feel out of sorts, could this be a spirit present? It depends in what you mean out of sorts. And what I mean, if it's the energy, I tend to think that either the energy is not quite right, either you could be out in an environment where you're not with the right kind of people, that type of thing. When things are out of sorts, it tends to be with the actual individual. So it's how you are at that moment in time. So it's about thinking about when you were out of sorts, what was actually happening at that moment in time. Now, say for example, because I obviously don't know the scenario, that you were really upset or equally as happy, but I'm going to go with upset, and the energy felt different, then that would be your loved ones coming round to comfort you as they would in any other situation. But without knowing the reasons for the out of sorts, I would say that was more with the individual rather than with spirit. It is where I want to go with that, Katie. Okay, if you want to come back to me and say, well, this is, you know, as a basic thing without going into anything personal, then I can expand on that, but that's where I want to go. Okay. I want to go on a motherly vibration with you, Katie, and I want familiarities around the face with yourself. And I feel not very tall lady, and I feel very much a lady, and I want to refer to her as a lady. I also want to say that this lady definitely left an impression on everyone's heart and was a great loss to the family. And I don't feel old with this lady at all. Now, with her, I have respiratory conditions. I'm struggling with my breathing, so I do feel there would have been respiratory problems, but I do feel there would have been respiratory problems prior to going over also. I also feel with her that basically she had a very big heart and a heart of gold. And to see people upset would have made her upset. She was very empathic, very in touch with people. But she also makes me aware that is the same with you and being in touch. She also takes me to you as being similar to her in the sense of being very caring and very sort of understanding and having those sort of caring qualities. So I don't know if you are in the care industry, nursing, that type of thing, or whether you're just a natural a carer, but she would have been a natural carer herself. She wouldn't have liked to see people have more than anybody else. She would have treated everyone the same. And I feel with her that basically she would have very much given her last penny to anyone else. So it would make sense to you that basically she would have gone without and allowed other people like her children or whatever to have other things. I also feel like I've got a pain deep inside my right ear. Now it almost feels like that the pain's going quite deep into the ear, and it almost feels like an earache, but it almost feels like someone's more or less chewing my ear off and trying to give me too much advice, but I'm not wanting to listen. So it's almost like I need to say to you, there is a friend around you who's giving you loads of advice, but you're not listening. And there's that need to listen at the moment to that advice. I also need to say to you, you need to believe in you. And you need to believe. I need to almost say to you from the lady, it's time to pick yourself back up and get back on the horse again and start going forward, because there has been a lot of upset and a lot of difficulty around you without going to anything personal. And I just need to say to you, it's now time to be true to you and start facing forward with that determination. Don't let anybody take your light, and don't let anybody tell you what you should do. This is about, yes, understanding other points of view, but equally not dismissing your point of view, and seeing the value of you and your self-worth. And I feel with her that basically she went out of her way for everyone else, almost at the detriment of herself, and that's what I don't want for you, is what I want to say. She blows you loads of kisses and a massive hug to you. And I just need to say, I don't feel that she's come through this year, because I want to say Happy New Year to you. If I can leave that with you, Katie, thank you very much. Okay, any more hellos, please, Mr. Producer? Hello, Jacqueline Doherty or Doherty. Hello, Jade McCreary, Lewis Handley. Hello to you. Hello, Kelly Jones. Hello, Jada Brown. Hello, Shannon Sharp. Hello, Adam Ashley. Hello, Yvonne Lakuma. Hello, DJ Hopland. Hello, Carrie-Anne Lanzenta. Happy New Year to you. Hello, Liz Simonet. Hello, Rita Evans. Hello, Helga Lee. Hello, Emma Saint. Nice to see you. Happy New Year, Emma. Okay, so next one is from Benny Ty. Hello there, Benny. So Matt, when you get a connection from spirit and another spirit comes in, how do you know if both spirits are for the same person or two different people? Okay, so with myself, I would say to you that it depends how many people have come for the reading. All right, but the generally the spirits that come through will be for the person that's in front of you. So both will want to be there. So what sometimes happens, not always, you might get like a grandfather and a grandmother. Sometimes what happens for those people on here, the mediums, is you might see like a mother or a father, but the other spirit person might be behind. But both of them, whether coming together or coming apart, will come in for the individual, your recipient, the person who's come for the sitting. They're not there for you, they're there for the people in there. So I'll just read through that. I've got that when you've got a connection with spirit and another spirit comes in. How do you know if both spirits are for the same person or two different people? They will, just to finish off, because I've just reread it, as those two people, ask for one person to step forward at a time to do the communicating. And then ask them if they've got anything to say, or can they ask to step back and bring the next communicator through to do the talking. And each will have a different message for that individual. Now, generally, what in my experience, I can only speak from my experience, when two people come through, it's that person has needed two types of energy, a male and a female energy, or they've needed to hear from the two special people in their life, like a mum and dad or a grandma or granddad or whatever capacity that tends to be. So hopefully that answers that question. If not, Benny, please come back to me. But I think that's how I want to answer that question. Okay, have a gentleman, I want to say a very well-built gentleman, very broad to the shoulder, but well-built anyway. I certainly want to put 5'9", 5'10" on this gentleman. And I feel with him, I'm coming, I want to say with him that very much I would be the person coming in on a fatherly link. And I feel a very strong character. I would have expressed my sort of views. I would have made it very, very clear of basically get my point across. I won't be a person who just sat back and wouldn't have allowed other people. I would have stepped in. And sometimes people would say, you know, to interrupt, or would have spoken over people, because it's not that I don't believe that anyone's views are more important than others, but I was enthusiastic. I like to get my point across. I also feel with him very hard working, and I feel very much, I don't want to say perfectionist, but very much I like to put a lot of effort into my work. I was a bit of a workaholic. I won't say that more than a perfectionist. I also want to say with him that I don't feel overly confident. I would project confidence. Nobody would think, oh, he's not very confident. But inside myself, I wouldn't be very confident. And I would be more confident in the workplace than what I would be within the home. All right, I would have, I don't mean sort of like, you know, how do I make this nappy, that type of thing, and not being able, but I would have left a lot to others on there. I feel very practical. I feel like I'm using my hands. And I feel very much a man of truth and a man of honesty. And if I said something, I was going to do something, or had a belief in something, then I would follow it through. I would be true to my word. Now, he wants to go on about this truth, and there's a situation around you where there's that question about truth. Not that you're being not being truthful, Benny, but it's almost like there's questions over truth, and questioning of where something doesn't quite seem right. So we're going back on what we was talking about early on in the evening. I just need to trust that intuition and not doubt it, and just to go through with it. And you know, if I think about it logically, then why am I getting those feelings in the first place? So that's what I need to say to you. Trust is a very big thing for yourself, and that's why I want to follow this through, and would have been very important to your dad. And I need to almost say, stand up for what you believe to be right, and don't allow others just to sort of put your feelings or your thoughts to one side. Your thoughts and your feelings are just as important as anybody else's, and that's the message from today. And if I can leave that with you, thank you for working with me. Hi, he was a perfectionist. Thank you. Thank you for that, Bunny. Hello there, Jada Brown. Thank you for joining us. Hello, Danielle O'Shea. Hello, Justin Sage. Hello, Amanda McDade. Hello, Danielle Stewart. Hello, Carrie-Ann Marshall Kearns. It's nice to see you. I'm fine, thank you. Hello, Trish Bowers. Hello, Uni Kitty Kitty from Canada. Got quite a few Canadians to that. It's nice to see. Hello, Debir. I think it's Isle, I think, from South Africa. Apologies if I've not said that right. But, hello, Christina. Okay, hello, Tina Collins. Okay, so this is our next question. So, do our loved ones who have passed have any influence on our day-to-day living? Do they guide situation to help us? Right. It depends on your train of thought. You know, do we believe in sort of influences and everything else? The way I like to refer to this is I imagine our loved ones in the living room. So I'm thinking about making a decision. So my granddad, and any of those that have passed over, they're all in the living room in the chair. So imagine, I want you to imagine, Tina, I don't know if you're in a relationship, but I want you to think back to sort of your teenage years. And I want you to think, oh, you know, I'm thinking about dating this individual. And, you know, you'd have one member of the family going, oh, no, they're not good. I've heard about them, and, you know, they're no good for anything. You get the other one going, oh, no, he's a lovely individual, or they're a lovely individual. And they'd all be passing their comments. So I like to believe is that with spirit is that they're influence in the sense they're telling you what's going on, but they're not going to make you live your life. So again, going back to that scenario of, you know, considering about this relationship, dating an individual, you then go, Yeah, I totally believe, yeah, they are a bit of a wrong un, or no, I'm going to do it anyway. I like them, so to everybody else. So we have personal choice, and when we have personal choice, we can either sort of go with what we hear, maybe in a reading or whatever, but ultimately it's got to be with us. There are those other people who say about everything's destiny and everything's going to happen. So a good analogy that one of my friends uses, imagines a crow nest on a ship. Um, they sort of see the iceberg. They can warn about the iceberg, what's coming up ahead. You can swerve around the iceberg, you can go into the iceberg, or you can go in a completely different direction. Again, it's down to personal choice. So spirit can see the iceberg, they can see maybe just beyond the iceberg, but they can't see well into the future. So in answer to your question, did he have influence on our day-to-day living? This is my personal view. I need to say they will influence just as those here will influence, but ultimately it's down to our personal choice whether we accept it and we go with it. They don't obviously want to see us go through bad situations. They don't want us to be at the point of where we're at loss or we're hurt and everything else. But I also believe that Spirit gives us what we need, what we want. And I know there'll be a few people on here that don't like that comment, but sometimes we have to go through things in life to experience them. And if we don't ever go through any hardship or difficulty, then how can we have empathy for the people around us? And certainly in a spiritual context, as a medium myself, I can't empathize with the people I work with if I've never endured pain, hurt, anguish, and everything else that goes with that. So hopefully it answers that question for you, Tina. If not, then please come back to me. But obviously, I can only comment on my views on there. If other people wish to add to that and go, what load of rubbish, I believe this, then please add a comment there for Tina without getting anything personal. Okay, so I want to go to the Sword of Light cards for yourself. And the card I want to go to, Tina. I also want grandmother on mum's side of the family, as I'm linking in with these cards. Second. Okay, so I'll keep that grandmother there just for a second. So angels of healing are with you. So this is your card. And it says, a time of healing is about to bless your life. Accept Archangel Raphael's emerald green light while I enhance your strength. So there's healing around you. But what I want to say from this card, and also from the grandmother or mum's side of family, is yes, you have choice, but this is also about not giving your power away. Don't allow other people to take your light away. Don't take your little essence, that pureness of yourself. Don't to take Tina away. This is about taking that power back and starting to live for you, not for anybody else or because other people have told you. It's living it for you. And I do feel with yourself that there has been upset around yourself. I want to say it's been a difficult 6 months. However, I want you to have, and this is the key bit, belief that things are starting to turn a corner and starting to change. Very much our belief, our intention is very much a driving force. It's that power of thought. And I want you now to sort of allow yourself to move forward and to shut the door on 2022 and the past, and I need to firmly shut it. Now, for whatever, this door keeps opening, and I don't want just 2022, I want to go into the tail end of 2021. So I want that firmly shut and to go forward and to sort of trust myself. And in this card, as well as the green healing, I want communication. I want you to sort of learn to say no. I want you to sort of stand up and say, you know, this is what I want, and going with that sense of belief that you're going to get it. The final thing I need to do is don't cross swords with people. Learn other ways. Remember, the pen is mighty in the sword. So almost like take a deep breath before, you know, you're going to get a little bit of temper or whatever else. And if that comes across in the wrong way, apologies. But it's just almost taking a deep breath and sort of think, right, how can I deal with this in a different way rather than reacting? And then look at a different way of tackling the situation rather than resorting to how you always react. And I just need to say, believe in you is the message for yourself. And the grandmother, echoes all of that information. She brings through lots of baking for yourself, and I want the rolling pin, and I have memories of baking with her, and I want that sort of memory, happy memories. But this is me now. We can also create memories, happy memories in the present. And if I can leave that with you, Tina, thank you for working with me. You don't look hot-tempered there, Tina. So, okay, right. So moving on. Any more hellos, please, Mr. Producer? Is this the next one? Hello, Becky Norman. Hello, Mick S. Hello, Shelley Stewart. Hello, Brandy Kemp. Hello, Cindy Bevel. So for those just joining us, wherever you're in the world, hello is the first thing. Happy New Year is the second thing. And the third thing is, the only way to get a reading is to post a question to myself of a spiritual nature. It could be about mediumship, spirituality, crystals, Reiki, whatever. I'm not saying I'm going to know the answer, but I'll answer it to the best of my ability, and then from there, that person gets a reading. So that's the only way to get a reading. There are other shows on SPTV where you don't need to post a question, you just get a reading. But for tonight, that's how we work. We try and help each other to learn and develop in our spiritual ways, but also to be a community where we're supporting one another. So, hello, Derek Spillner. Good day to you. Hello, Heather Green. GP Racer. Before I enter this, can you just say yes or no as to whether you're still here, please, before I answer this question? Because I've answered this question already with somebody else, and but I know your questions come up. So I'm going to give it another 10 seconds. If you say yes, then I'll come to you. If not, I'm going to have to move on, I'm afraid. Okay, so what we're going to do, guys, we're going to go to a short advert break. Please stay with us. We'll be back in about 2 minutes' time. It's only going to be a short advert break, but it just gives you some flavour of what SPTV's got to offer. But we'll be back shortly.
MySpiritualDirectory.com is one of the fastest growing online free listing service. Our search directory offers geolocation feature, rating ability, review system, map location, customer comment, YouTube video, gallery, social media sharing, direct contact with the lister, simple online booking and payment system. It's free to register and use. It even creates your own mini web page, which you can update at any time, and yes, it's still free, no monthly or yearly fees. 100% free. Creates your own profile page. Add social media and other links. Add a mini gallery and a YouTube video. Rating, reviews and comments. Includes online booking and payments. So, if you're looking for a medium or a reader, even a church, maybe a healer, or any other spiritual service, then visit myspiritualdirectory.com.
Spiritual Psychics TV is hosting our annual recognition of achievements, acknowledging those who dedicate their lives through spiritual acts of kindness. Candidates can register and put themselves forward to be acknowledged. Viewers can also nominate who they feel should be recognized for an achievement. Exclusively broadcasted live on SPTV, with 100% of the public votes being announced, on Saturday the 27th of May from 7:30 p.m. For more information please visit awards.spiritualpsychicstv.online. Spiritual Psychics TV, bringing spiritual people together. Tomorrow night from 8 p.m., Deb Clark demonstrates her mediumship by offering free readings.
Wow, what shows are going to be, and lots of interesting things. So a number of things just to remember. There's that spiritual directory, which is for the mediums and for events of all different categories. So please check that out. Obviously, the lovely Debs is tomorrow at 8 o'clock. And our second award, it doesn't seem 2 minutes ago since our last award. So that's going to be happening in March time. So if that's something that you want to check out, voting will start in March for our second annual awards, SPT, completely free. There's no charge for the voting of that, and the different categories. So check that out nearer the time. So just before the break, we went to GP Racer, but we hadn't heard, but now I believe we've heard from GP Racer. So we're going to go to you. It says, are spirits always round us, or do they come and go? What sort of signs should I look for? Okay, so we partly answered this early on in the evening with somebody else. I think it was Marie or somebody like that I went to. So they're always around us, but it depends on what or who we need at that moment in time. Now, what I mean by what, and I don't mean that disrespectfully to our loved ones, it may be that we need a male energy at that time. We need a tower of sense, or we need a bit of comfort and reassurance. We need a female, sort of more emotional, sort of softer, not as harsher energy. So in which case a female come through. Now, when an individual comes through from spirit, their personality doesn't change. There might be times where they're a bit more humble. There might be a bit more, apologizing because they made mistakes. They've realized that. But their actual personality on the whole, unless it was, really bad, remains the same because we don't obviously, we won't recognize them otherwise. So, for example, if I said I've got a really soft gentleman as your father, and he wasn't that at all, obviously you wouldn't accept it, and it wouldn't be right. So, on there, so that's one thing. And there will be individuals who are quite strong-willed, who will push their way up to the front and say, "Oh, I'm coming through for this individual." It might be that you've had a stronger connection with certain individuals. So there's a variety of reasons why it comes and goes, and different people come in. Signs you look for, again, we mentioned these earlier on. So things like feathers, music, TV programs that you're taken back. Maybe that in your dreams you were thinking about that individual, like your dad or your mum or somebody like that. It could be that you taken to a poem that you used for the eulogy. There are a variety of signs that are around you. Okay, it might also be not only visual signs or auditory signs like songs and that. It can also be smells. So we can also look at like clairfactions. We can use the sort of the smells that come in. So we might smell cigarettes that we might, like he used to have, or she used to have 60 a day. And it used to, that the room used to fill up with loads, and I can feel like it's almost like the back of my throat. I can smell it, or strong or subtle perfume. So they're the signs to look for. So hopefully that makes sense to you, GP Racer. Okay, so what I want to do with you is I'm going to go to Collect Baron Reed, and this is the Enchanted Mat cards for yourself. It's this one. It's called the Mountain. It's card number 6. And this to me is on 2 signs. One that basically you've had a mountain to climb, and I want to say sort of this last 9 months, from about March of last year, I need to say to you, there's been a mountain to climb, and it's been a very difficult mountain to climb, and it's almost been sort of, it's challenged you, and you've had to dig deep with your emotions on that. I also need to say to you, the other symbolism that comes with the mountain with myself is very much being we're built on firm foundations. We have strong rocks and ground in which to build upon. Now, I want you to think of a house. And with this house, we decide to put the roof on or put the walls around without a firm foundation. And all happens is the house comes collapsing in. by having the firm foundations and building up, we have a strong belief system, we have strong morals, and we have something to build upon. So when things come in that are quite hard, it doesn't knock us down, it doesn't floor us. And I need to say to you, even though you've had this difficult sort of 9-month period, you've remained true to you. And I need to say to you, you always remain true to you. And I also need to say to you how strong you are. Now, you have doubted your strength, and I want to take you to the age of 16 and 24 of being a difficult time for you. But irrespective of that, you have got through it. There is light at the end of the tunnel in here, and I need to say to you, with the situation that's going on at the moment, that there is light at the end of the tunnel of that. There is a fatherly figure around you, but I feel this is more a grandfather on father's side of the family that I want to go to. And I feel that I had sort of dark brown hair in my younger years, and I'm clean shaven. I'm very much slim to the build, and I feel I'm a very honest, I'm not an outspoken gentleman, but if I feel there is injustice, I will say what needs to be said. I will very much be a protector of the family, and you would have felt very safe in his company. So I have him here, and you were on about signs when you're asking the question. When he's around, there will be a sense of sort of burning or cigarette smoke, that sort of, like, I can smell smoke. Okay, so that's the first thing. But I also want to say there is like a tapping on the shoulder or on the neck area on the right hand side also. And I don't feel with him, it's like a sense of impatience that I'm trying to get through to you, but it's almost like there is too much going on that you're not listening. So what we need to do is just not to, because you're not sleeping properly also, I just need you to meditate and just allow yourself to calm that mind and just allow the spirit world to help you, to help allow your loved ones to help you at this moment in time. Now you're coming out the other side, but there is still a little bit of the journey still to go. And going back to the cards, the final thing I need to say to you is don't sit on the sidelines. You're very much a leader, so you need to continue to use those leadership qualities, but understand a leader also needs people around them, not only to delegate work, but also to support the leader, because the leader also needs help. Hopefully you'll understand that, and hopefully that makes sense. And thank you for working with GP Racer. Okay, all right. If you can just give some feedback whether that made sense or didn't make sense to GP Racer, that would be appreciated. Okay, any more hellos, please, Ms. Producer? Hello, Louise Ritchie. Nice to see you. Hello, Esley. Hello, Lucy Chapman. Hello, Nikki Spall. Or Spall. Hello, Stephanie Tion or Tion. Not sure which one it is, but hello anyway. Okay, the next question is for Daniel Dwyer O'Shea. Why does a certain family member not come forward and speak as other family members do? Okay, so again, this depends on your train of thought and what you believe to be right. Now, I always say to my students, and I say it on the show also to the viewers, I always believe that you should challenge views, and if someone tells you something, so say it's a presenter or your spiritual teacher, and it doesn't fit right, you need to say, well, why? You need to question it, and if it feels that it is right, then you need to accept it. That's my belief. So in my belief, I believe that certain members come through at certain times because it's them that you need to listen to. So as I said, it might be that strong grandmother at the time you won't listen to anybody else, but this grandmother, she wouldn't have taken any mess in, you would listen to her. So that's one thing. It could be that you're needing somebody who's really, really close to you, who would give you that sense of just reassurance and that love. So that individual comes through. The other thing it could be is that the medium isn't the right medium for you, for the individual. Okay. Now, when I say this, there'll be a lot of controversy, there'll be a lot of mediums going, what a load of rubbish here. And the reason I say that is because no medium can bring everybody through. And I remember being told many, many years ago by a famous medium is that basically what's happening up in the spirit world, there's a conversation going on, and it's almost like, right, I see down there is that, Matt, he's just done a reading, okay, and I would like a reading to happen there for my daughter, my son, whoever. So what then happens is the two individuals, the medium and the recipient, are brought together in different ways. So it may be that you're looking through the newspaper and you think, oh, look, there's Matt Grogan. Oh, geez, he's in the local hall near me. I'm going to go there. Totally unassumed of the reason why you're going. I'm going, oh, I've not been there for a long, long time, or I've never been there before. But 6 weeks before, I get a phone call to say, would you like to come to this place? And it's almost in marry up. And the two people that come together for the right reason. So there's that. So that's one of the reasons. That could be the medium. The other thing it could be is the individual. And the individual recipient is, if you imagine sort of that you want one person over anybody else to come through, and you're hoping so much that this person comes through. And because you are putting so much belief and want, you sometimes stop the person coming through. So the way I put this, if you think of a famous burger bar, okay, with the hoops, all right, and the new straws that they've got, and if you open that straw, after a while, there's no shake or no juice comes out of it because you shut too hard on the straw, and it's almost like crumble, it's gone in on itself. Now, if you suck lightly on it, the drink keeps coming up and you drink until it's all gone because there's less pressure on it. So the more that we relax, the more that we don't put that expectation on, we just want that person to come through and nobody else, then I'm going to say probably 8 out of 10 times, so not always, the person might not come through straight away, but the person who comes through may then bring through the person that you want to come through. And what it then does is it allows you to relax, allows the energies to flow, and allows the reading to go well. So hopefully, I know it's long-winded, but hopefully that explains the different scenarios. There's so many different scenarios that comes into a reading, Danielle. And it's not just a straightforward, well, you're a medium, you should be able to bring them through like that. It is so many different things, ill health, the time of the month, and I don't mean that disrespectfully, I'm not referring to any female stuff. What I mean is with the mediums, it could be like where the moon is, and that's what I mean by the time of the month. So we're going to go to so could you just tell me that you're still there, Daniela? Just putting a yes, and if you're still there, then I'm going to go to your reading for yourself. Okay, so I'm going to give it another 5 to 10 seconds. I'm going to have to move on. Okay, Danielle, unfortunately, we're going to have to move on. But thank you for your question, a fantastic question. And I'm sorry it was long-winded for the viewers. So any more hellos or any more questions, please, Mr. Producer? Hello, Andy Holroyd. Hello, Jacqueline Petrie. Okay, so the next one I'm going to go do is Becky Norman. She's put, how can I tell if the spirit that's connecting with me is the person that I think it is? Now, this is going back to early on. I mentioned, if you've been with us, Becky, I don't know if you've been with us all evening or not, or wherever you are in the world, time of day. I gave the analogy of a robin. And it isn't that we suddenly turn into robins or pigeons or other sort of animals when we look and go, oh, that's my granddad or that's my dad. It always turns up at the same time. That's definitely my dad. They're just messengers. And when we got those, the first thing we think of is that must be dad. And when we think of that, it's because those thoughts we're trusting and going with, because there's that belief that that's who it is. Okay, so in answer to your question, how can I tell if the spirit that's connecting with, it's having that, the first thought comes into your head. So you can try this at home as well. So if you think of something, I don't know, I'm thinking of moving, should I do it? If the answer, the first thing comes in, so like do it as a yes and no thing. So if the first thing comes in yes, then that's what you got to do. When you start going, oh, should I do this? Well, yeah, I think I should. No, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's this. Then you're getting involved. So go with that first thing, and as soon as it comes in, then that is you. You've had no thought. That's your higher self. It's not interfering. Okay. So if I want you to now think in your mind of that individual, and think, is that person? If the answer is yes to there's your answer. All right, with yourself. You don't need to tell me. That's for yourself. But by not thinking things through, you're starting to trust, and and that goes for everybody on the show, including Mr. Producer. Okay, not accepting that, basically letting this get in the way, or your heart getting in the way, because they're the two parts of the sat nav that makes you go down the wrong part of the lane, makes you go the wrong way. And we start trusting our gut feeling, our intuition, call it whatever you want, and start to trust what we receive is, then that is how we improve in our spiritual well-being and spiritual self. Right, where do I want to go? Okay, I want to go to the fairies with you, Becky. I don't know why, but I'm going to go to the fairy cards with you. So if you just bear with me a second. Okay, a card, and I don't even think this is the same pack. But this card is the Ancestral Realm, Karmic Release, Healing the Lineage and Boundaries. So this is about healing your past and letting go of your past. I don't feel this is ancestral in the sense I'm going back generations to heal my ancestors and all of that. I feel this is within your lifetime, and I feel like I'm going to an early part of my life that I'm needing to do that. But I do want to call on my ancestors and my loved ones in spirit that are around me to assist me with that healing. Now, what I always say when we have healing, it's going to pull stuff out. So we need to not put too many things on us, not expect too much of ourselves, and understand we might get a bit emotional. So do this at the right time when it feels right for you, if this is the case. Now, on this card, I'm very much taken to the greenery, not because of the healing colour, but the land. And I want to say healing comes from the land and that connection with land. And it's almost like I need to say, not because of what imagery it denotes here, but I do want to be drawn to sort of like Aylesbury, Stonehenge, that sort of area, almost sort of like stone and, you know, ancient stones for part of that healing. It makes me feel in my hands that when I touch the stones, I feel that energy within the stone. And I don't mean just, like I said, like Aylesbury or sort of like Stonehenge. I mean like the land that's been there a long time. I feel the hurt, I feel the energy within it, and it almost recharges me also. There's almost like an understanding of the land and me. So for you, I certainly want to be outside and I want to be connected more to the earth. I certainly want to be barefooted around there. And I also want shamanic links around you also. Now, the final card I want to go with you. Okay, and I want a nan with you on mum's side of the family, and I want familiarity around the eyes, and I want looking at you and would just know. She'd know if you were telling the truth or not, and she would just look at you, and the eyes are the windows to the soul. And I feel that that sort of word would connect you. It might not be the word that she used to say, but there'd be that sort of sense of knowing. So with you, it's almost like you look at people and you know if they're telling you the truth, or there's just that sense of knowing when you look people in the eye. And it says, shine from within. Your greatest gift for you is very much your heart. You're a giver. And your nan was equally a giver. She gave so much. And just as much as she was beautiful as a result of that, so are you. So you need to acknowledge that beauty that comes from the heart, not asking anything of anyone, just that basically people accept the love that you give so freely. And if I can leave that with you, Becky, thank you for working with me. Okay, any more questions or hellos, please, Mr. Juicer? Hello, Courtney Brown. Nice picture. Avril Hayes. Okay, so Avril Hayes is our next one. What is blocking my spiritual path? I feel like I'm blocking myself, or am I stuck? Okay. Okay, so again, I can only comment from my point of view. So if this resonates with you, Avril, then please accept it. If it doesn't, then don't. So from my point of view, when we have our spiritual path blocked, it goes down to two things, in my view. It's either the wrong time, and as a result of the wrong time, certain things have not been put in place that need to be put in place, or ourselves are the other reason for our spiritual path for blocking. Because even though we're presented, so if I give you an analogy, if you know when people say the doors are opening for you now, opportunities are opening, you need to step forward. If we're like, whoa, I don't feel now's the right time, it's only January, I don't want to do that till March time, then those doors will close and we've missed that opportunity. So we've missed that step forward. But that's not to say that that spiritual path at a later date won't present itself if it's meant to. But to me, it's down to either ourselves or the actual timing. Now, with the timing, what I also believe is if things are not quite right, so, you know, we all want things to happen yesterday. We want things to, I wish it would have sorted itself out. I've been waiting 3 months. We put time scales on it. We become very impatient. So as a result, we sort of put time scales on it. But things need to be sorted by spirit. So it's down to timings and whether things are right. Because it's not just like the time has to be right. It's the right people of the opportunity. So again, if we use the analogy of the doors opening, so say it was a career path, those people coming together that are providing that job, so that, there's this funding got to be available. So let's go with the tax year. The new tax year's got to bring extra money in for a position to be come about, so then that person can advertise, so then you can step into that role. Do you understand what I mean? So that's where I'm going with there. I feel with this, there is hesitant from you. And I feel with you personally, I feel this is the hesitance of not wanting to go forward. There is uncertainty, and I want to bring that belief and confidence back within you. I don't know why, because I'll need to say to you, in the past, if anyone asked you to do something, you would have just done it. You want to give it a second thought. You were very confident, but for whatever else, there's a sense of wavering at the moment. Now, I'm going to go to the cards with this, and with the card that I want to give you, it's this one. It's time to play. And it says, you're working too hard and worrying about everything. Seek out joyous experiences to bring balance into your life. The cards seem to be coming up trumps today, don't they? And I need to say to you, with that time to play, it does give us that balance, and this comes down to the timings. Now, I want to go to the month of April for that sort of thing starting to grow and starting to come to fruition. But it's not just about play. This is about taking time back for you. And it's thinking about what it is that you want, because I feel like I'm flitting from one thing to another with yourself. So I just need to say to you, right, let's think about what it is, the one thing I want to do first, and concentrate on that. When I've got the focus for that, then I can think about the next thing. But at the moment, it's almost like I'm going to do that, and then the next day I'm going to do this, and the next day I'm going to do that, and it's almost like I'm flitting and then going back to what I originally thought on the Monday. So stick to your intention. Perhaps using a focus of something like a vision board or something like that, which then will give you a clear focus to concentrate, to focus where you're going. And what's the final thing? I just want to go to this as the disc. I see it like what we call frisbee, and just it goes with the flow. You know, as long as it's got the air in order to fly, it basically will go until there's nowhere and it drops. Or if there's nowhere there, it drops straight away. So I want to go with the frisbee and just go with the flow, and just not put any expectations on yourself, and just see what the world has got for yourself. Rather than controlling it is what I need to say. But a lot of positives, and hopefully that all makes sense to you, Ava. And thank you for your question. Okay, guys, we've come to the end of another show. How quick has that gone, eh? It's gone so quick. Our first show of 2023. I just want to thank you all for joining us. Please check out our website, and it's mkclairvoyance.com. Please check out different courses that we're running, but also check out sptv.uk, all the different shows that they've got on. Also check out spiritual events website also, if you're looking to organize events of a spiritual nature for there. And please check out our shows. Don't forget our wonderful presenter Debs is on at 8 o'clock tomorrow with a different sort of style of working, but still that essence of truth. So whatever you're going to do over the next week, take care. I look forward to seeing you at 8 o'clock UK time next week. And for now, take care and goodbye.